for such a long time within our civilization, we have been perceiving our beautiful planet in a way that's not exactly accurate. Many of us, through different spiritual teachings, were given the impression that, we come to Earth as life lesson. It's, that you come here to learn, and it's like a school for your soul to go through certain lessons and trials and tribulations, and it's like this big quest, and that once your soul graduates, you can stop coming to Earth. Give me a yes in the chat if you've ever heard that kind of narrative before, where, that you've had this impression that we come here for karma, that we come here to correct things. It's almost like a punishment, that this planet is a hard planet to come on, that there's other much, much nicer planets. Yes. Yup. So you can stop reincarnating here and go somewhere else. Yes. Well, if we're going to take this journey together, my beautiful ones, I would actually like to connect you even deeper to a higher truth. Gaia, our beautiful planet, is not a place for unevolved souls to come and become evolved, or lesser consciousness to come. Our beautiful planet is an incredible, multi-dimensional, abundant, rich planet of creation. And there are many different versions of her. And depending on which grids we connect to, if we're connecting to the higher realm grids of this planet, or if we're the golden, the crystalline, the celestial, or if we're co-creating with architecture of the lower and middle realms, will determine how we perceive our life here. And so the first place that I'd like to anchor into and share with you is that there are many versions of our beautiful world. And even though it feels to us that we are on one planet, that we're sharing one planet, the reality within the quantum field is that it's not accurate. You could literally be on this planet over here in this image, the one on the left, and I could be on this one. And we're interconnecting through this Zoom, transmission. Meaning right now I am here in Moorea on a beautiful island with the lagoon right behind me. You are all over the world in different places, yet depending on the frequency signature within us, depending on our consciousness level, will determine which version of our planet we're on. And yes, it co-creates into one unified field, so it feels like we are on one. The truth is, every one of us has had these experiences of waking up in what feels like a different reality. And this is usually felt quite deeply with frequency, where we could wake up feeling incredible, and it's like the sun shining, and we're extra delightful, and our hair's behaving, and we're having a great time, and all the people around us are loving and nurturing and fun. And we could also shift in one day or the next day. We could find ourselves in what appears and feels like to be a completely different world, a completely different reality, where the same people that were friendly and awesome yesterday shitty at us today, or they remember things differently than we do, or just in a different reality where things aren't going as smoothly, where it just literally feels like we've woken up in a different version of ourselves, or we've shifted to a different version of ourselves. Give me a yes in the chat if you've had these experiences where they're undeniable, that there's an absolute shift in the way that you're perceiving. Yes. Now, this is such an important part of it. We only experience such a small portion of our multidimensional universe because we're activated to be able to access different spectrums of reality. And if someone's within third dimensional consciousness, they exist within linear time, very stuck within time grids. When someone exists in fourth dimensional consciousness, they exist in circular time, and time can warp and shift and change. When someone exists in fifth dimensional consciousness, they can start to access the unified time grid that has everything existing all at the same time. And then of course this continues with each dimensional shift. Why do I share this? Each version of our planet exists right now through time and space in different configurations. And therefore, when we come out of linear time, where we're only looking at our planet over the last few thousand years in our civilization, where, by the way, I don't know if you've noticed, but what happened to all the history that predates our current civilization? There is so much that's been deleted and not accessible to us about all the beautiful sacred sites and pyramids and extraordinary places all over this world. Ancient civilizations have reached extraordinary heights of consciousness, living on this planet in profound ways. And yet our history predominantly teaches us, gosh, what wars went down, what happened only in the last couple thousand years. And I'm sharing this with you because prior to our current civilization, there are civilizations that predate us that have lived in such beautiful utopia. One of those civilizations is Lemuria. Lemuria, hutumashanata ktiatana hatanaksiai shutuna atana 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 hutu, was a civilization that existed a very, 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 very long time ago. And they reached out and touched the lands where I've been traveling. Hutumatani hatai. Yet ultimately, the general masses of the civilization started to descend in their consciousness and started to co-create with more fear, more scarcity, and shifted into other versions of Gaia and what we would perceive as descended. Their civilizations were literally overcome by floods, the whole world changing, everything shifting, and the end of a civilization that we would see echoes of in our physical world. Yet, remember when I shared with you that Gaia does not exist in linearity. Gaia is a multidimensional, incredible consciousness, an abundant being of light, existing in many, many forms at the same time. And depending on which version of her we anchor on, depending on which strings of perception we subscribe to, depending on which vantage point we want to come together and unify and look through, will determine the planet that we live upon. And what I mean by that is, if we believe that our beautiful planet is only that we see within our cities, and only that we see on the lands where we travel to, then we're only seeing this tiny, tiny part of what this planet is. And then on top of that, if we believe that our world is the creation of governments and religious parties telling us what this world is, we're literally living in the smallest subsection of this planet that's available. Have a look at how little parts of our planet humanity actually occupy. Like, if you were to look at the whole beautiful planet, the ocean world is gigantic, so vast that none of our scientists, no one's been able to really explore the full ocean world yet. We've scratched the surface of it. Then we have a look at our actual land mass. Every country that I travel to, there's still so much nature, so much land, that it's usually, for most continents, there's predominantly population surrounding the coasts. And there's so much inland deserts and mountains. If you really were to look at our planet and unplug out of society, unplug out of government, unplug out of religion, unplug out of the pre-existing architecture that we find ourselves in, and fly all the way above it like a bird and see the planet for what it truly is, you would finally get to start seeing what our true planet is, which is an incredible, vast, abundant being. If you could, you would fly into the beautiful oceans, and within them, Namushutani Hatanaksiai, Hutu, you would enter whole realms of light. There are civilizations that live within our oceans, higher consciousness, and have been for a very long time, much longer, millions and billions of years than our current civilization dates. And Hutushitana Hatanaksiai si Utuna, Hutu Namatanai, Hutu. There are also inner earth cities of light, consciousness living within the inner earth, and also sections of our planet that we don't tend to populate upon. And this might sound like science fiction to some, yet the truth of the matter is that there is truth shared within our sci-fi movies, coding the field and making it all out to be make-believe. Our true planet is an incredible, intelligent, abundant being of light. And the truth is that the only thing that has this planet appear to be a not so nice place to live is certain levels of consciousness of humanity, and not being able to access the bigger picture because we're stuck with goggles on, filtering and deleting and placing us into holographic realities where we don't even see beyond what there is to see everywhere around us. It's interesting, traveling here and being in this part of the world. I love traveling around the world to sacred sites. Why? There's a very specific reason. Each sacred site around the world, and if you've traveled to them, you can't deny the feelings there, and this is all over the world. There are sacred sites where the energy frequency is so high that as soon as you go there, you're like drunk on joy and bliss. Give me a yes in the chat if you too have experienced traveling to sacred sites, and it is undeniable that the frequency in those places is extremely high. Yes, 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 yes. And so ultimately, what is this frequency that we feel in certain locations? Why is it different? And the answer to this is quite simple. Namushutiatana Hatanaksiai, Hutu. Our planet is gridded and coded, and it is multidimensional, existing as many different versions of itself. It's not this one thing, it doesn't exist in linear time. It's not a third dimensional construct. It's a multidimensional construct. If you saw our planet through 12th dimensional eyes, it's a kaleidoscope of beauty. And in different sections of our planet are different vortexes of light, which you could perceive and see as portals of light. And what are they portals to? They're portals to the original signature of Gaia. They are the anchored and stabilized frequencies of truth, truly inviting us to let go of consciousness imprints, thought patterns, templates, codes. Let go of a lot of architecture that is within our mental field, our physical field, our emotional field, that is not having us fully see the truth of who we are and where we are and everything around us. And welcoming us to truly feel and perceive our planet. These sacred sites are portals to Gaia's soul light. Here in Tahiti, Here in these islands, the locals call this mana, that certain places have strong mana, they say. And these are places where you can enter and access a direct communication with Gaia, with the high consciousness of this planet, the crystalline, golden, pure, beautiful, benevolent consciousness of this planet, the soul essence of her. And it's interesting too, because Nushamatani Hatanaksiai Utana Atana Atana Atana. It's not just here, it really is. All over the world, there are sacred places that are holding the field. And as more and more of us connect to these places, as more and more of us activate within ourselves, our own organic portal network to our soul, to source light, to higher truth, we connect deeper and deeper and deeper into the truth of this planet, into the whole magnificent, abundant beauty of it, and the high consciousness that lives within the earth, within the waters, within the sky grids. This planet has already ascended. This planet is already a high consciousness. It already exists in its 7th dimensional form, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, all of it happening in one unified field. And it is us that are taking this beautiful journey from one version of Gaia to the next, to the next, to the next.